My pleasure.
Here. Leave me be. I want to sleep. No, clear off.
My respects. God be with you.
What do you need?
God be with you.
Look out. Dad.
Here.
Why are you waking me? Go away.
Good health to you.
Are you Carl by any chance?
I am. Why do you ask?
I've heard that you're bound for the monastery.
Yes, it's true. But I've convinced my faithful guardian, Manfred, to give me a few more days of freedom. Mind you, he won't let me visit the brothel, so instead I'm devoting those days to the demon drink. With whom do I have the honor of speaking?
My name is Henry.
Pleased to meet you, Henry.
What if I entered the monastery instead of you?
I would give you your weight in gold, if I had any. But Manfred there, my guardian angel and caretaker, has all the coin, and he never takes so much as a single step away from me. If you help me get rid of him...
He's been listening to us the entire time.
So what? Listen, friend, let's raise a glass. Manfred here's a sleepy old goat. We can talk once he dozes off. Please, get rid of him for me, any way you can. See you later.
God save you.
You're Manfred?
Indeed I am.
You must have a mighty thirst. Waiting here with him for days, just watching him.
There's no doubt I'd enjoy a drink. Heaven knows I deserve it. But if I dull my senses...
So let's drink together. And if you start to feel unwell, I'll keep an eye on him. Like you said.
I can see you're a reliable lad.
Certainly.
So what shall we
I'll
have to
fetch you
drink?
right away.
And while we're at it... Good luck to you. So, bring it on. Come on, it's time I had a throw. Use your head, man. You'll lose everything. Come on, it's time I had a throw. Not afraid of anything, eh?
Hey, I'm dying of thirst here.
We'll see.
How much longer must I wait?
Your turn.
Here, just as you ordered. Here, enjoy it.
That's it.
To the women, God bless them.
Got it for you right here.
God's holy hat.
Certainly, I'll fetch it. Got it for you right here. I'll be right back with that.
Kurva. Why the hell did I even stop playing? I've had enough.
And you said you wouldn't drink today.
Silence. I'm going to sleep. Here's a few coins. Have fun. Tomorrow, we're going to the monastery. Is that clear?
Couldn't you give me more? This isn't even enough for a toothless whore.
It's enough for beer. Good night.
Manfred's taken care of, just as you wanted.
Thank God. He won't let me out of his sight for a second, and he's itching to get me in the monastery so he can head back home.
Why are you being sent to the monastery?
Like every lusty young lad, I'm fond of fair maidens, but I got too fond of one, and let's just say she was, indisposed for 9 months.
But they don't send you to the monastery for that.
They do, when it's the daughter of the lord of your fief.
Shit.
Shit is putting it mildly. The Lord of Bookover was less than pleased. He knows he'll never marry off his daughter now, so he gave father a choice. Either pay him 1,000 groschen in compensation, along with my balls on a silver platter, or pay 1,000 groschen and put me away somewhere no one will ever see me again.
Why does your guardian never leave your side?
So I don't run away. Of course, I'm free to walk around, but he watches every step I take and won't stop until I'm behind the monastery walls.
Well, he's not watching you now.
What good is that to me when he has all the money, and even my saddle and riding cloak under lock and key?
Why don't you just run?
Bare-arsed. What the hell would I do? I don't know how to work, I have no money, and that old bastard's even taken my cloak. He has...
But there are poor people everywhere and they get by somehow.
If I have to choose between hunger and poverty on one hand and the monastic life on the other, I'm afraid the monastery wins.
Certainly.
If I could
I'll fetch
only
it right
steal
away.
that old man...
What if I entered the monastery instead of you?
What? Voluntarily? You don't look like someone who'd want to... You could only enter the monastery if you know how to read and write, and if you have a special writ from the abbot. That's a letter confirming they know who you are and that they've accepted you.
So you give me your writ? I'll just tell them I'm you.
Manfred has the writ. You'd have to take it from him, but he only puts it down when he sleeps.
So I'll steal it and then you can disappear.
Disappear? Bare arsed. What the hell would I do? I don't know how to work, I have no money, and that old bastard's even taken my cloak. He has me in the palm...
But there are poor people everywhere and they get...
If I...
That's all then.
Good luck to you. One ale over here, please.
I've got what you need.
Excellent. Give me the purse. You can...
Here's half the purse.
Half?
I'm keeping it for my efforts.
Well, I can't say that seems... Farewell.
Yeah.
I'm Carl. I'm supposed to enter as a novice.
We expected you sooner. Weren't you supposed to come here with your guardian? It's been so hectic lately, people will keep turning...
He gave me the papers and left me at the gate. You must be used to that, though. I'm not the first novice here, am I?
But that wasn't very considerate of him, was it? It's been so hectic here lately, novices arriving one after the other. The last one didn't even have a letter, and you'd think his backside was on fire, the way he kept looking over his shoulder.
You took him without the letter? You didn't find that suspicious?
My guess is he wanted to hide from someone. But he's a priest and knows how things work in the monastery. So there was nothing to prevent him from being accepted, at least temporarily. You're a different case, though. Are you able to read?
Naturally. I wouldn't be here otherwise.
So then, are you ready to enter the order of Saint Benedict and renounce forever the temptations of this world?
I am.
Then you must rid yourself of all your worldly possessions. Sell them or give them to the poor and needy or donate them to the monastery. You may not enter this place burdened by worldly goods. Inside the gatehouse is a trunk in which you will find monk's robes. Put away all your possessions and dress yourself in the habit. Then you may rest a while I go and see the prior to arrange matters for your acceptance. Farewell.
Strange feeling being without all of that. I didn't realise how much I'd grown used to it.
Everything's prepared. It's time for you to take your vows.
Do I really have to wear this?
You'd better get used to it. You'll be wearing it for the rest of your life.
Brothers in Christ, we have gathered here today to welcome a new novice into our midst. Dear brother, forget your former life and embrace your new vocation in the community of the monks of St. Benedict. Opus Dei, obedientia, obprobria, the service of God, obedience, and endurance of all discomfort. These are the cornerstones and succor of our order, which on this day shall become your own. Suscipe me, Domine, secundum eloquium tuum, et vivam. Et non confundas me ab expectatione mea.
Suscipe me, Domine, secundum in loquium tuum vivam, et non confundas me ab expectatione mea.
Accept your new name, Brother Gregor, and wear it with honor. Welcome, brother.
Welcome, brother. I am Antonius, a novice like you. I've been instructed to guide you around the monastery and tell you what you can expect and what your duties will be.
Thanks for helping me out during the ceremony. I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
You don't know Latin, do you? Don't worry. Work in the scriptorium will teach you fast enough. Why exactly are you here? Was it your choice? Or did someone force you to come?
It was my choice. For a common lad like me, it's the easiest way to get an education and do something worthwhile with my life.
It looks like we're both here for the same reason. I think we'll get along.
Would you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a novice and I'm here because I'd make a poor merchant. I like books and I want an education. Although I must say, so far the monastic life's been quite unexpected.
Let's go then.
Good. But before we do, here's a letter directly from the prior telling you all your regular duties from tomorrow onwards. Make sure to read it this evening, so you know how things work. Right, we can go now. Follow me closely. I'll explain everything as we go. Remember one word: discipline. It's your job to work and pray. You serve the Lord now, not your own bodily needs.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
This is the way to the dormitory, where we all sleep. You'll find a free bed there, which is now yours. Do you know the first thing the monastery taught me? To appreciate sleep. We rise before dawn every day. Takes a bit of getting used to. This is the garden, a place for silent contemplation and meditation. Centuries ago, this monastery was founded by the most esteemed of brothers, Saint Procopius. His earthly remains can be found in a cave under the monastery, and his spirit wanders the corridors at night, punishing any misbehaving novices. So beware. Here are the frattery and scriptorium, together with the library. These are the places where we work. Ora et labora. Pray and work. As a novice, you must always listen to your superior brethren. And above us monks are the prior and the circators, who punish every infraction. You'll know them by the canes they carry. Do what they say. This is the refectory, where we come together to eat. During meals, you must be silent. Only one brother reads aloud from the Rule of Saint Benedict.
The rule is the only law we recognize, with the exception of those from God himself. If you break any of its precepts, expect a swift punishment. But I've already told you about the circuitors. The library, the pride of our monastery, a trove of learning. We don't just read books here, we also copy them. You too will learn how. And that's all. Today you are still free from duty, but tomorrow you begin work like the others. If you need anything, ask any of the brothers. We'll be glad to help you. And I recommend you get to know the other novices. You already know me. Then there is Siskin, Yodok, and Lucas.
Thanks for showing me around. There's a lot to learn here. Will you tell me something?
There's not much to tell. I lived in Vlachim, and after my father died, I found out I wasn't much of a merchant. So I left the shop to my brother, and decided to become... It's peaceful here. There's food and lots of time to read. It may seem strange, but I'm one of the few novices that did. I might be the only one. The truth is, the idea of spending my life in a monastery was more appealing than being cooped up in a greasy old shop.
It occurred to me you might be the man to ask. I'm looking for some lockpicks. Do you know anyone in the monastery who could help me?
Lockpicks? You surprise me, brother. And you, a nobleman's son. But you could ask Brother Salarius. They say he used to be a thief.
I'd like to ask, who's in charge of...
Truthfully, everyone except us. But officially, Abbot Peter. And soon enough, someone else. As if it mattered. Our life will still be work and practice.
I see. Are there any rifts between the brothers?
Yes. From the moment talk began about electing a new abbot, it's been like a hornet's nest here. Strange you haven't noticed.
Tell me something about electing the...
Abbot Peter is old. When he dies, they'll have to select a new abbot from amongst the brethren. The candidates are John and Nevlas. And if you ask me for my opinion, Nevlas is definitely the right man. Unfortunately, no one cares about my opinion because novices get no say.
Tell me something about life.
Work, prayer, as if you didn't know. We serve God, and that's the central truth of our lives.
What are the roles of the various monks here?
Someone takes care of the library, someone else the garden. The abbot supervises everyone, and in his absence, the prior. But it's the circators you should worry about. They're the brothers who'll make sure we observe the rule. They can be quite strict, so if you want to avoid getting punished, always act righteously and do your duties honestly.
Who would you choose as the new...
Why should I even think about that when I don't have the right to vote? Gregor, don't go poking your nose into other people's business. What troubles you? I'm no priest, but tell me what you've done. It's probably nothing to worry about.
I'm here in the monastery looking for a thief. He had a hand...
You don't say. And who are you to take such an interest?
That's not important.
Why are you telling me this anyway? What do you want from me?
Perhaps you could help me find him?
The missing thief. If I knew anything, I'd tell you, but I suppose it must be one of the novices. I've only recently heard about the Neuhof incident, nor the other brethren have been here much longer than that.
I know. Aside from me, there are only 4 novices, but still, I don't know which one he could be.
3? Please, leave me out of it. And you're right that it could be any one of them. No one knows anything about Lukas. Siskin might be a lot of things, but a monk isn't one of them. And Yodok is a slimy worm. It wouldn't surprise me if he was behind that massacre. Actually, the more I think about it, the less I like that Yodok. He's a treacherous rat who'd do anything to get in someone's good books. The thought of Yodok at Neuhof sends chills up my spine.
Maybe you're right. It's not a pretty thought.
Don't fret, my friend. Your secret...
I know you're pious.
So you're finally sure? Tell me, Gregor, or Karl, or whatever your true name is.
I don't know. I'm not sure what I should do.
Well, at least you're prepared to think and not just play bloodhound for a pack of nobodies. And I'm glad you have your dad.
I don't want to be like the people I'm looking for. If I have to kill, it should be for a reason, not because I enjoy it.
You know, we're both pawns in someone else's game. They have plans for us, but we don't have to let them use us. I was a bandit, and I was at Neuhof. I've robbed and stolen, but I swear to God I've never in my life slain innocent people. What I saw at Neuhof made me realize my life was worth shit, but I still had a chance to change for the better. Here in the monastery I've had plenty of time to think things over, but then you showed up and fucked it all up.
So the evildoer changes his ways and finds God. What exactly are you proposing?
Both of us can leave this place. You can go back to your people, and I can go somewhere where I can live out my life in peace, and no one will try to kill me. If we work together, we can both get what we want.
You're right. But the people who sent me will find out if I don't kill you.
They won't if we're clever about it. No one has to die. Before we make a run for it, we'll make it look like someone's killed me. Loads of blood, a tattered scrap of my habit, and footprints leading towards the river. No one will bother looking for my body there. There we'll split up. You go for your bounty, and I'll get as far away from here as I can.
Good. Let's do it your way.
Good. I'm glad that despite our initial discord, we could reach an agreement. Here, take something to calm your stomach. Now we'll need the keys to the monastery and some blood to make the tracks.
What are you going to do?
I need to get ready for a long journey. Prepare supplies, get some normal clothing somehow, that sort of thing. You can escape in that habit, but I need to vanish as fast as I can.
What do I need the keys to the
How else will we get out? This place is practically a prison.
Getting the keys won't be easy.
I know, but Brother Salarius is a reformed thief. I'll bet he still has a few lockpicks lying about. Or there's the hard way. Steal the keys from the prior.
They both sound hard to me. And where am I supposed to get my hands on blood in a monastery?
You'll find a parchment in the kitchen with a list of ingredients on it, all the things they're ordering. Add blood for making soup to the list, and when it's delivered the next day, take it before anyone notices it's even come.
All right, that's everything I need to know.
Excellent. Come and see me once you have everything, and try to be as fast as you can. And Gregor, thank you.
Don't even look at that cabinet. It contains forbidden books. Ah, Gregor.
I'm Gregor.
I know. But I've no time for idle chat. I transcribe books from dawn till...
What, you do nothing else?
It is my penance and my blessing. And now, brother, if you don't mind, I'd like to get this page finished. Get away from my cabinet. The books stood in there aren't for your eyes to see.
Praise. What trouble?
I'd like to ask, who's in charge?
Oh, Abbot Peter is the administrator of the monastery, but you won't see him. He's always...
And what happens when the old abbot...
Well, then we elect a new...
Are there any...
Yes, there are. Brother, on one side are brothers who'd like to see John as abbot, on the other, those who support Nevlas.
Tell me about John.
John is Cicator and the oldest brother here. It would be only natural if he took the crozier from Peter. He has experience, merit, and composure.
I'd like to know about Nevla.
Nevlas manages the monastery's properties. He doesn't have the most experience, but his drive and heart are pure. Although perhaps he's too keen to change our routines here, which many brothers don't like.
Why does it matter so?
Because the future direction of the monastery hangs in the balance. The younger brothers feel they have to work more than their superior brothers, and that some brothers are more concerned. The older brothers take a different view. They say the younger monks want privilege they haven't earned, and each side has its own
I thought politics weren't part of the monastic.
You're right. But we know nothing besides the monastery, and the abbot's decision can influence our
Are there ever any...
Unfortunate.
Tell me something... Can you tell me something about...
7 centuries ago, St. Benedict of Nursia wrote a collection of monastic rules, which we still follow today. The fundamental precepts are obedience, work, and prayer. We're fully devoted to...
Do you never want to know what's going on out there?
And what should be going on? The sky is just as blue, the grass is just as green. Perhaps the ruler's changed, but the greatest ruler of them...
I'm Gregor and I'm...
I know. I saw you in the church during ceremony. I have the feeling we'll be meeting again soon, and...
What does that mean?
I make sure everyone observes the rule, does their work, and that
when it's not the way it should...
Then we're authorized to mete out punishment. But certainly you won't require correction, will you, brother?
I'd like to...
Spirits.
Did you have to finish someone's eating in the garden again?
Yet again. I've had enough of it.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
Will get worse. I can feel it in my joints.
The things you say.
My joints started
Praise be
aching
to
just
Christ.
before they raised scallots, and now they hurt again.
Is it possible to learn something about...
Only the abbot and the prior keep such...
And can I see them?
You might be wrong.
No.
Besides, God
The
will
abbot
be out.
writes and keeps his records in his chamber.
Is there anything I can do to...
I'm glad you asked. There's one thing, a silly thing really. I haven't thought to mention it to anyone, but not long ago, a brother brought me a crumpled piece of parchment. He says he found it rolled up in a hole in the wall. The thing is, it was a page from Ovid.
Ovid? What is that?
Not what, but who? Ovid was a great Roman poet. We have a few volumes by him in the library, but one of them vanished one day. Now I believe I can guess what happened. Brother Eustace, may the earth rest lightly on him, was quite narrow-minded when it came to classical literature. If a book had any mention of woman at all, he condemned it as a heretical work. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned. Ovid's The Art of Love must have been such a thorn in his side that he stole it from the library, tore it up, and hid the pages wherever he could.
Oh, would you like me to put the book back together again?
Absolutely. Eustace's wits weren't the sharpest, so I'm sure he didn't destroy any of the... I imagine he hid them throughout the monastery. It might take you a while to find them all, but when you do, you can rest assured Ovid will return to his rightful place in the library.
Good. I'll...
Thank you, brother. It's of no great importance, but if you can find all 10 pages, I'll be most grateful.
Where should I look?
If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you to do it. The page...
Makes it all worthwhile.
Why are you waking me? Go away.
Ooh, it looks like I found a little monastic treasure trove. I wonder who stashed that here.
Why aren't you in the dormitory?
What have we here? It looks like a book with the names of all the novices. That's it. The book with information about the novices. Interesting. But I still don't know which one of them is pious.
Why aren't you sleeping? What are you doing here?
wants to look good in front of the others. And he doesn't trust us to keep him safe from harm if he got too drunk to make it to prayer.
You mean like your good self last Christmas Day? The way you drowned out the prior's voice by snoring?
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. It was hard not to...
And you are?
Lucas, also a novice. Don't get upset, but I don't want...
I'd like to know something about the...
I don't know much.
Tell me about Antonio.
I'd like to, but there's nothing to tell. I've never spoken to him.
Will you tell me something?
There's nothing I can tell you.
I mean, where you're from, what sort of life you had before, that sort of thing.
I'm a novice, and my monastic name...
Come on.
I could, but I don't want to. I'm sorry. What has been isn't important for us.
I've heard that you,
What?
I read it in the abbot's book.
What? The abbot's book is locked up in his chambers, and he'd never allow anyone to read it. Did you break in? But why?
I was looking for something else, but I just happened...
No matter what you were looking for, you crossed a line that shouldn't be crossed. But don't worry, I won't tell on you if you promise... Yes, you can call me a sodomite, a sinner, a monster, the spawn of Satan. But tell me this, Gregor. Can I help the way I am?
You're right.
I'm glad. My guilt.
I found a book called...
This...
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
This is not a good time for...
Omnipotens
Can't you see? We're at...
Brother, you were somewhere you shouldn't have been. Don't you know your place? Don't you know where you're permitted to enter and where your presence is forbidden?
Very well, brother.
I still need to look through your pockets to see if you have anything you shouldn't. You have a weapon. Here in the monastery. I don't care where you got it or why, but clearly your intentions are not honorable. You failed to complete your trial period as a novice. You are hereby banished from the order of Saint Benedict. Be gone at once.
What? Too good to wear a habit?
What are you
Get
wearing?
dressed now.
You're in a monastery. What are you wearing, brother?
What are you wearing?
Is this some kind of bad joke? Put your habit on. Peace be with you.
My name's Gregor.
You can call me Siskin. Now, are you here of your own free will?
Did you say purgatory?
You'll see soon enough. Soon enough.
Will you tell me something?
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer not to talk about my past.
Are you hiding something? Why are you so...
I'm hiding a lousy part. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me, in a monastery.
That's all I wanted to know.
Please, keep it...
I'm I'm still
It's no big, terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read during services.
What kind of a book?
I found it here in the library. It was on a shelf where it should never have been. It's the Necronomicon. Ghosts, demons, and invocations of power. Who knows what it means? I tried to count the syllables, read the words backwards, but nothing.
Oh. I'm not too sure what the prior or the cicada would say about a book like that. Actually, what anyone...
Ah, prejudice.
You're right.
I'm glad you agree. Just please don't tell anyone about the book. If the brothers... I admit it might look that way. But if I tell you, I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I really hate the question, I was rich and I had everything. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me, in a monastery.
That's all I wanted.
Please.
Brother, is this a tavern? Are we at a dogfight? Violence doesn't belong here, as you well...
Very well, brother.
Now, show me what you have on you. I must confiscate...
While I was locked up, someone was making quite a racket in the cellar. Blind drunk, I'm sure of it. I wonder what's been going on.
Ah.
I'd like to...
What trouble? Peace be with you, brother. What the hell was that?
What do you desire?
I have everything we need.
Show me. No.
I'd be interested... What can you tell me?
That there's no man alive less suitable for the monastic life.
You don't know, young lord.
I've heard things. Siskin must have been like...
That's all I wanted. That's all.
Not now, brother.
This is not a good time.
Peace be with you, brother.
Not now, brother.
Can't you see we're at map?
Stockbreaker.
Brother, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere?
I definitely was there. I did come a little late, so perhaps...
Really? I'll pretend nothing happened. But this...
Greetings, brother.
Greetings to you, brother. I'm Yodok.
Trouble?
You're young, perhaps intemperate. You might easily stray from the rules of the order. I suggest you get to know the older monks.
I'm interested in the other. What can you tell me
Oh, he's always got a smile on the new friend. But I reckon he don't belong. I'm surprised he hasn't been thrown out already. If it was up to me, he...
Sounds like you don't...
I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. Believe me, Gregor, he's hiding something from us. In fact, now I come to think of it, I haven't seen him at morning prayers for a while.
I've read the abbot's book.
You broke into the abbot's quarters to spy on me?
I wasn't interested in your opinion about what I did. What interests me is you and what the book has to say.
I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm going...
Just try it, and I'll smack you so hard your feet won't touch the ground.
No, don't hit me.
And should know that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one whom he finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Remembering the fate of Heli, the priest of Sila. The well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments. Knowing that it is written, the fool is not corrected with words. And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from death. The rule of Saint Benedict, readings on humility. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than Christ.
What troubles you?
The holy service they are perfect, and the fear of hell, and the glory of life everlasting. As soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command, and cannot suffer any delay in executing. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation.
What is it, brother?
Delay, lukewarmness, grumbling, or objection.
I'm looking for something.
And what would that...
For if the disciple obeys with an ill will and murmurs, not necessarily...
I'm looking for
Lock?
I'd like to practice.
Well, why not? So you heard I used to be a burglar, did you? I put it all behind me as soon as I took the vow. I'll trade them for...
He will incur the punishment due to murmurer. As soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command and cannot suffer any delay in executing.
Brother, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere?
I was feeling a bit queasy.
Really? This time I'll look the other way. But no.
For the obedience given to superior.
About you in the election.
Ask me anything you want.
Tell me something about...
Nevertheless is weak and toothless. He's full of hot hair. How anyone could think he'd make a good abbot is beyond me. Enough. I don't even want to hear his name.
Who sees that his heart is murmuring, and far
I'd like to help you if I can.
I am convinced Nevillus must have done something that would greatly damage him if everyone found out. If he was preaching water and drinking wine, for example.
So I should dig something up on him and tell you...
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
He who aids a sinner sins himself. I shall pray for your...
Thank you for answering.
As soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command and cannot suffer any delay in executing it. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation. Delay, lukewarmness, grumbling, or objection. For the obedience given to superiors is given to God. For if the disciple obeys with an ill will and murmurs in his heart, then even though he fulfills the command, yet his work will not be acceptable to God, who sees that his heart is murmuring. And far from gaining a reward for such work as this, he will incur the punishment due to he amend and make satisfaction.
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name is Nevillus, and I'm the provost here. I'm in charge of the monastery's property, as well as handling trade with the outside world.
That means you get to leave the monastery?
No, not at all. I just write lists and send them out.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Today it's your task to concoct 2 potions to aid digestion. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them. Talk to me,
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent. Soon enough, you'll be teaching the... Praise be to...
I'm interested in...
You're not alone. Everyone's so worked up about that, they spent no time considering how they could make the monastery...
Why? What's wrong with it now?
Many brothers think more about their stomachs than prayer. The older brethren bend the rules of the order to make them fit their interests. So, to balance the scales, they want the novices to lead exemplary lives.
What sins are you talking about?
The scripture says, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone." I'm sorry, Gregor, it's not my place to speak about the sins of others.
Tell me something about how the new...
A new abbot has to be elected once the old one dies. All the brethren can vote, with the exception of novices. The abbot's crozier will be conferred on whoever is chosen, and he'll take the vow. When he becomes abbot, a monk spends most of his time dealing with politics outside the monastery, instead of actually leading the monastery. But he still maintains a fundamental influence on life here.
Can you tell me about Abbot...
Peter's wise in the ways of politics and a good shepherd, but as you've already heard, he's old and infirm. The other brothers see him, but you, brother, don't let yourself get involved in the games of your superiors. Could you help me with...
With what?
I'm interested in medicine, and I know there's a cure for the abbot's ailment. With your help, I could find out the details, and together you and I could give old Peter a few more years to do good. What do you say?
You can count on my help.
In order to get the recipe for this medicament, a few rules will need to be broken. Now, you know, most of the brothers believe every illness is a message from God, and that it's not our place to deny his will. I, however, think if God sent us not just illnesses, but also the medicine to cure them, then it's our duty to relieve people of their suffering. The cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library, but it will certainly be amongst the libri prohibiti, the forbidden books, those we aren't permitted to read.
Why are they forbidden?
Because they contain occult and demonic practices, witchcraft and all manner of evil. Or so some people claim. It's nonsense, of course. This is nothing but a book of medicine, albeit one written by a pagan. Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna, is universally acknowledged to be a wise man. But here, at some point, someone decided his book is the work of a Saracen devil and must be kept under lock and key. Since then, no one can even talk about the book. But the three wise men were from the East, were they not?
Where can I find it?
In the library, there's a large cabinet with a lock on it. The forbidden books are inside. You'll easily recognize what you're looking for. The cover has not only a Latin inscription, but also Saracen letters. No one will notice if one book disappears, but if more were to vanish, someone would certainly begin to look into it, which is
Is there anything you...
There's a key to the cabinet in the prior's chambers. The librarian should have another one, or you can acquire some lockpicks. But I can't tell you where or...
Why can't...
Because I'm one of the highest-ranking monks here, and one day I'd like to become abbot. Can you imagine me crawling around in the black of night, sir?
You could just ask for it.
Do you honestly think I haven't tried? Unfortunately, librarian...
I'm ready.
One more important thing. There's always someone in the library during the day. To pass unwatched, you'll need to go... They say Brother Solarius understands locks. We'll soon...
Is there any way I...
What would you like to do? Climb up the tower?
Not exactly.
John isn't my opponent. He's my brother. Just like you and everyone else here. But there is something you could help me with. You must know there's a great deal of iniquity here in the monastery.
Should I find out for you what's going on around here?
Let me make this clear. I want to base my candidacy on putting things in order. But if I don't know exactly what's wrong, then my promises...
Very good, then.
Thank you, brother.
I've discovered...
I see.
That's all I know.
If you find out... God be with you. Here.
Peace be with you, brother.
Servo.
What do you desire?
I'm here to work.
Good. This is most likely the first time you've ever done this in your life. But it's easier than you think. Just a bit of practice and learning. Here's the original, and here are the blank parchments on which you'll copy what you read in the original. Is that clear? Then you may begin, and talk to me.
I found a few pages of...
Wonderful. Keep looking then.
I've heard about...
Who told you about that?
I've heard there are some forbidden...
That's correct. They're here, safely hidden...
Could a book be prohibited by mistake? Maybe a good book or a useful one?
No errors are made. Every book on the prohibited list is there for a reason. Who am I to doubt the wisdom of Mother Church?
How does a book get on?
Forbidden works are full of heresy and blasphemy and witchcraft.
What if I just...
You could not. They are libri prohibiti, and the only people permitted...
Not even if I were to beg? Or promise a favor?
If you could prove...
I don't need to hear anything else.
Can you read at all? I've never seen so many mistakes.
Ah, great.
Ah, this looks like the Saracen language. Ibn al-Hassan. That's who I'm looking for. Avicenna.
Don't even look at that cabinet. It contains forbidden books.
Talk to me, brother.
Here the prophet shows that if the spirit of silence ought to lead us at times to refrain from good speech, so much the more ought the punishment for sin make us avoid evil words. Therefore, since the spirit of silence is so important, permission to speak should rarely be teaching belong to the master. The disciples' part is to be silent and to listen, and for that reason
Salve. Be well.
Praise be to Christ.
I'm still...
It's...
I'll leave you...
Thank you.
How is it that...
I've paid off the circators to turn a blind eye. And the other monks don't notice as long as you show your face there from time to time. No one's too awake at that time of the morning.
About that magic potion from the forbidden books. What do you plan on doing with it?
I don't really know yet. Perhaps one day I'll conclude.
Would you share the rest?
You don't even have to ask. It's thanks to you I have it. Old wives' ointment, which witches use upon the Sabbath, and therein prepare oil, a fistful of marigold, a fistful of belladonna, and a fistful of lover's knot. Boil the lover's knot for one turn. Drop the ground...
Sounds quite...
And it probably is.
someone really...
What do we have here? A nice sharp dagger. Now what would a monk need that for?
I'm Gregor. And you are?
Lucas, also a novice. Don't...
Will you tell me something?
I mean, wait. I'm a novice.
You see,
You're looking?
I am a novice.
Why would you be looking amongst monks? You know, the laws of man are...
I'm looking for a footpad who's...
I heard...
Because you could help me.
That can't be. Have you told...
I don't know yet.
It won't be easy to drag this criminal away from the...
Do you have any...
I don't know, and I...
With you, brother.
What do you decide?
Here's the book you wanted.
Amazing. This really is it. Now I can use it to prepare a cure for our suffering abbot. There'll be no investigation. It would be against his best interests, as he'll look like the one who wasn't taking proper care of the books. It will drive... Is there anything I can do for you?
Oh, just forget about it.
What would you...
What would you like?
I found a few...
Wonderful.
God be with you.
Peace be with you, brother.
Things will get worse. I can feel it in the things you say.
What they don't. Abbot Peter's health is deteriorating. They say he won't make it to the altar.
No, no.
Abbot Peter's health is deteriorating. They say he won't make it.
You interested in what's inside? Forbidden books, written by the devil himself. Talk to me.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
You've seen us drinking here, so either join in or swear you won't tell a soul. You wouldn't want to end up like Lucas now, would you?
All right.
That's more like it. Sit down and have a... I'll say one thing, brother.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
Quite right, brother. Just sit down and drink with us. When the wine runs out, Yorick will fetch more. Praise be to Christ, brother.
What are you doing here?
What does it look like?
But we're all...
Youngster, when you're as old as I, you'll understand.
But you're the cicators. You're the ones meant to be keeping order here.
If you really want to know, see for yourself.
All right.
Praise be to Christ.
You mentioned Yodok. What does he do for you?
Well, nothing much. He's just a little suckling like you. He'll do whatever it takes to stay on our good side. Sometimes we make use of him when there are errands to run.
Where'd you get the wine from? I thought the monastery cellars were guarded.
So they are. But this wine isn't from. Listen, lad, would you help us out with something? This cask is almost empty and we need a new one. We're a bit old.
I'll help you.
Ha! I knew it. Help Novice Yorick arrange for a new cask. Talk to him first thing in the morning, and by tomorrow night, the cask can be on the table.
All right, I'll talk to him. Let's drink.
That's the idea.
How about to the abbot?
To the abbot it is. But wait a minute, lad. Which one?
To Nevlas.
To Nevlas? To the abbot he's never been and never shall be? No, lad.
Let's drink.
That's...
How about to the abbot?
To the abbot it...
To Peter.
So, to Peter. He's done so much for us, but his time is at hand.
Let's drink. How about to the abbot?
To the abbot it...
To Abbot John.
That's more...
I'll say one thing, brother. This wine would grace the Pope's table.
I'm not so sure. It's a bit sour. Where's what's in it?
Don't be absurd. It's a first-class cask, direct from Zneumann.
Oh, I know the taste of a good vintage and this.
again do what work has to be done.
Praise
until
be to
vespers.
our Lord.
Weak or sickly brethren should
Brother,
be assigned
where were you during Mass? Don't tell me you didn't know that Holy Mass is the foundation on which...
I had other affairs that needed to be attended to immediately.
Really? Fine then.
What do you desire?
In the middle of...
How marvellous! Did you join in? More importantly, can I join in next time?
Siskin? I thought it wasn't allowed.
If the cicadas can, we all can.
That's not how it works.
I know. A double standard.
What do you desire, brother?
I'm looking for...
And what would...
Oh, nothing.
What is it?
I was talking last night with the brother Cicatas. It seems you're to fetch them a cask of wine.
Well...
I'd like to help you.
To get hold of the wine, we'll have to leave the monastery for a bit. I know it's forbidden, but if wine started going missing here, someone would notice. But to leave the monastery, we need the keys. And only the prior has those.
Wait a moment. Are you saying I'm supposed to steal the prior's keys so I can go and steal wine somewhere else?
You see why I don't want to do it myself now, do you? I don't have what it takes. I can't get those keys.
But you've done it once before, haven't you?
Last time the prior was sick, and he left the monastery keys in the Circator's care. So they unlocked the gates for me. This time we'll have to...
How can I get hold of the...
I don't know.
Do you think he'll want to take part in theft?
No. But you could give some advice, or maybe get...
If you think...
Once you have the key or some lockpicks, come...
About those...
Did you get them?
Yes, I have them.
In that case, come before midnight to the cloister garden. I'll be waiting for you.
In the night, I over...
Oh, no. So it's still not over. This isn't a lie.
Lucas, what's going on?
What do you think? Just like you, I saw the Cicatas drinking and playing hazard as if they were in a brothel.
You should have joined.
Join them in their sinful pursuits. Yes, perhaps.
I warned them if they didn't stop, I'd go and tell the prior. But instead of mending their ways, they vented their anger on me.
You've picked the wrong people to make enemies of, Lucas, they told me. Now I can't even count how many days and nights I've spent locked up in solitary confinement.
Is there something I can...
Would you? I think all it might take is for you to go and sit down with them. Have a talk, set things straight, then they'd leave me alone. But I'm afraid even this path leads nowhere.
I'm not afraid of them.
Brother, you have the courage. May the grace of God be...
Talk to me, bro.
I found a dagger in your stash.
And why shouldn't you have? I did hide it there after all. Do you...
Only when necessary.
And was it necessary? Are you looking for someone or something? That dagger's the only thing I have left of my father. When I was little, I admired that dagger so much. I asked Father...
Go on, please.
Now Father's dead, and I'm... Now you can...
Here it is.
Thank you.
Here's your dagger.
Thank you, brother.
And why aren't you spending your nights sleeping instead of...
I only want...
I know, brother, I know. But you need...
Even if something...
Even then, I'm afraid. Life in a monastery is much like life outside in many ways.
Really? I thought monks were above that sort of human folly.
They became monks, Gregor, but that didn't stop them being men. Lies, jealous...
Thanks for the advice.
That's up to you.
Brother? What are you doing here?
You're right, brother.
This is your first warning.
What do you desire, brother? What would you like?
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. Concoct 2 buck's blood potions. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
What do you desire?
I finished my work.
Show me what you... Spectacular. What would you like?
I'm interested in...
You're not alone.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Many brothers think more about their stomachs than prayer.
Why do you want...
Because when I see the way things are headed around here, I have no other option. Itinerant. I'd like to change things and bring...
That's all.
Peace be with you. Praise be to...
I've discovered something.
I see. Tell me more.
The older brothers are picking on novice Lucas, punishing him when he doesn't deserve it and humiliating him.
It seems that now even brothers can't avoid worldly evil. Thank you for the information, and if you can, stand up for him. The older brothers are also out to get me. Any action I take, they'll try to use against me.
The Circators go into the cellar at night to drink wine.
I thought so. John always reeks of it. And he wants to be abbot. Hypocrite. Perhaps if you told the prior, that would clip John's wings.
Brother Yodok has been stealing wine for the Circators so they can drink.
Yodok? Well, that little rat's shown his true colours. Do you know where he's stealing it from?
I don't know, unfortunately.
No matter. You've brought me important information.
Brother Siskin is hiding treasure he owned before he became a monk.
It doesn't surprise me. It's not the first time that's happened, and it won't be the last. I wouldn't punish him, but you can talk to him about it. Perhaps God will guide him.
That's all I know.
If you find out anything else, come to me.
Is there any way...
What would you like to do? Climb up?
Not exactly.
John, but there is...
That doesn't sound...
Pity. And I thought...
Salve. Be well.
What is it, brother?
What troubles you?
I'm here to work.
Excellent.
Oh, this is quite inexcusable, boy. Can you even read? And the fear of hell and the glory of life everlasting. As soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command and cannot suffer any delay in execution. But this very heart is murmuring, and far from gaining a reward for such work as this, he will incur the punishment due to murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction.
What do they do?
Well, I never. What are you doing here? You're playing truant from the monastery, aren't you?
Hey, what the fuck? You footpad.
Ah, Gregor.
I've heard that you,
What? What?
I was looking for...
No matter... my...
In the night.
Oh, no.
Lucas,
What do you...
We should report.
I agree.
I warned them if they didn't stop. I'd go and tell...
You've picked the wrong people to make enemies.
Is there something I...
Would you? I think...
I'm not afraid.
Brother, may the great...
What trouble? I found it... Only when necessary.
And was it necessary? Daggers. Thank. Now you can get.
Here it is.
Thank you.
Here's your... In the knot. Even if...
Life, they lies.
Thanks for the... That...
What do you desire?
I'm here to work.
Excellent. Concoct two. Once you finish them...
I've discovered...
Nice.
The older brother... The sir... Brother, you...
No matter.
Brothers...
If you find out...
be with you.
What do you do?
I finished.
Praise be.
I'm here to.
Good work. I can see you have
by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the
What would you
divine
like?
precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The
What is it,
abbot
brother?
should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom
Brother Cicator, my friend.
What would you like? To be relieved from duty?
No, I'm here because of novice Lucas. I've heard there's some discord with...
Only because that weasel wants to put an end to our nighttime fun. So we're letting him know who...
I'd appreciate it if you treat him like a brother again.
If he isn't afraid of us, there's nothing to stop him ratting us out. But what do you care, anyway? Grown fond of him, have you?
He hates you because you trample all over him and he has nothing to lose. If you show him just a bit of kindness, he'll think again about taking you on. You'll see.
Beware of Lucas. He might corrupt you.
What do you mean?
He's a sodomite, a sinner. He might try to get you into the habit, or out of it.
beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from
I'll decide for myself who I do and don't.
Readings on humility. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who
I spoke to the cicada.
Really? Did you? Because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of hell, and the glory of
But you have to promise not to tell anyone what you saw them doing.
That's a promise I'd be glad to make. I'm forever in your... Because now I know I can trust you. There's something I want to tell you. It's about Brother Antonius. I wouldn't like to say something that isn't true. God forbid I should cause harm by my words, but this is something I'm sure of. Novice Antonius...
What makes you say that?
He claims he's a merchant's son from Vlachim, and that he joined the order voluntarily. The thing is, I spent a great deal of time in Vlachim. I know it like the back of my hand.
Are you sure? Because this could...
It's true, or Canute isn't my name. That would be my secular name, by the way, but that's not important. I know Vlachim, and I know the local merchants there, and I've never seen Antonius among them. Why would he...
Thank you for telling me.
Unless he amend and make satisfaction. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the spirit of silence. Let us do
What would you...
the prophet says. I said, I will guard my ways, that I may not sin with my tongue.
It's no big...
God to my mouth. I was mute and was humble, and kept silence even from good things.
I'll leave you be.
The prophet shows that if the spirit of silence ought to lead us at times to refrain even from good
Talk to me, bro.
so much the more...
Listen, there's something I ought...
It's better.
Never mind that.
That's it?
You mean he's not going to morning prayers?
So you know...
should rarely be granted even to perfect disciples. Even
Actually...
I think when you take a closer look at Siskin...
For it is
that's what I'm trying...
What are you going to...
not escape sin. And in another place,
I don't...
death and life are in the power of the tongue. For speaking and teaching belong to the master. The disciple's part is to be silent and to listen. For that reason, if anything has to be asked of the superior, it should be asked with all the humility and submission inspired by reverence.
What do you desire?
But as for coarse jests and idle words, or words that move to laughter, these we condemn.
I've heard you're from...
Yes, why do you ask? And more importantly, where did you hear it? Since I'm quite...
Because I've heard...
And who told you that? Whoever it was, he's a liar.
Therefore, when anyone receives the name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed. Shut his eyes to the faults of offenders.
Peace be with you, brother.
Vessels with quicksilver in them.
Do you need help? Is that some new kind of game?
No, clear off. Let me sleep.
Put your habit on at once. What? Too good to don't over much stress. Now,
Brother, what have you got on? Not only do you dare leave the monastery, but you come back wearing worldly attire. You failed to complete your trial period as a novice. You are hereby banished from the order of Saint Benedict. Be gone at once.
to sleep.
Brother? Where have you been? Do you think you can just walk away from seclusion? Seclusion means you stay put. No comings and goings.
I was just...
I have no time for your excuses. This mustn't happen again. I'm making an example of you. 2 days in solitary confinement. I still need to look through your pockets to see if you have anything you shouldn't. You have a weapon, here, in the monastery. You failed to complete your...
Praise be to our Lord Jesus. Brother, where have you been?
I was just...
I've no time for you. This mustn't happen again. I'm making an example.
Next time we'll get the honor to bring some.
Peace be with you, brother. Gregor.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
Speech. So much the more ought the punishment for sin make us avoid evil words. Therefore, since the spirit of silence is so important, permission to speak should rarely be granted even to person disciples, even though it be good, holy, edifying conversation. For it is written, in much speaking you will not... For coarse jests and idle words, or words that move to laughter, these we condemn everywhere.
What troubles you?
Ban. And for such conversation we do not...
I have every... Excellent. Straight after Vespers, we'll meet in the dormitory. We'll have to get it all done before the monks have finished dinner.
What exactly is your plan? And why can't we do it at night?
We're going to prepare a little riddle they'll never solve. And why at mealtime? Because we need the dormitory as well as the church to be empty. Then at night we'll escape. Do you follow?
Take everything with you, and don't forget the keys.
Good. Once evening mass ends, I'll be in the dormitory.
But demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time.
Praise be to Christ.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. Today it's your task to concoct 2 potions. Once you finish them, you'll find... What do you decide?
I've finished my work.
Show me what...
Peace be with you, brother.
Talk to me, bro.
I'm here to work.
Not a
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
Praise be to God. For a moment there I was worried you weren't coming. Give me that blood. This is the exact spot where you pushed me off the gallery. And here's where you dragged my lifeless body. Thank you for helping me out. Now we must each go our own way.
I was glad to help. I did what I needed to do and no one got killed. What will you do now?
Now, get the hell out of here. Steal the first horse I come across and ride until dawn, far, far away from here. I was thinking... Here, take this. Show it to those cutthroat bastards and tell them you found it on me. That should convince them. Especially when they hear about the outcry here after the fires found out we've gone. Your lucky die? In a manner of speaking. Hope it brings you more luck than it brought me. Thank you. Thank you for letting me live, Brother Gregor.
My name's Henry.
All right, Brother Henry. May God be with you.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Jesus, not as shallow as it looks.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah! Yeah.
This looks like the place they were talking about.
Morning, sunshine. Hope we didn't wake you. Kurwa.
Did you have to sneak up on me like thieves?
We are thieves. Besides, we had to make sure you weren't followed. Or trying to lead us into a trap. But enough of this chit-chat. Let's get down to business. We heard there was some trouble at the monastery. Question is, was it the right sort? Did you do that job we agreed?
Do you think I'd be sitting here if I didn't do it?
How should I know? The world's full of idiots.
It's done.
You've got proof?
He had this on him.
Aye. That says all right. What did you do with the body?
What happened to your vow?
I dragged it away and buried it.
That must have been quite a job.
A monk's got no business out here. What happened to your vow?
True, it wasn't easy. But if I'd left the corpse, they'd know for sure I was the killer. This way, they just lost a couple of novices. Or do you think it would have been better to leave the body there?
Nah. I just have to make sure you did what was needed. Not even a mouse can get into that damn monastery, so I've no choice but to trust you.
And do you trust me?
Yeah.
What now?
What now? You did your job. Welcome. We need people like you.
But what do you need people like me to do?
I'm just the crimp. All I do is recruit. Now you get to go to our camp and find out everything you need to know.
Where?
Are you seriously telling me you didn't notice the camp? Not too observant, are you? Well, there's a hill above Sasso, and on top there's an old abandoned fort. Only it's not as abandoned as it used to be. That's where the camp is. Go there and report to a fellow by the name of Eric. Tell him Kozliak sent you.
And they'll let me in just like that?
Good point. I almost forgot. At the gate, show them the special dye you took off Pius. That's our sign.
That's all?
That's all. You'll learn everything you need to know at Vranik. And hurry up. I've got a feeling there's something being planned.
Yeah!